Tyrael, the ancient law of the high heavens strictly forbids us from interfering with the mortal world. Yet you have done so, brazenly.
All I am guilty of, Imperius, is bringing justice, while you hide, cowering behind your throne.
Silence!
To many, Tyrael is simply a hero, having fought to protect humanity numerous times and formed the Horodrim to combat the prime evils on Sanctuary, and generally being the only angel on the Angiras Council to seemingly serve true justice, even if it means going toe-to-toe with its leadership. But in reality, while Tyrael's piety is unquestionably pure, Tyrael is a complete and utter imbecile.
I am justice itself. We were meant for more than this.
Every time Tyrael seeks to aid humanity, he unwittingly helps the demonic legions. This point is proven numerous times throughout the Diablo timeline, from his creation of the Soul Stones and their enabling and empowering the prime evils, to naively entrusting the fate of the eternal conflict to several people who betrayed him, from Sultan Kul, Izyur, the fallen angel.
Tyrael was a fool to have trusted me.
Most notably, one feeble man named Marius, who didn't mean to betray him, but he just wasn't up to the task.
Tyrael, yes.
To his own laughable quote-unquote ascension to the aspect of wisdom, which arguably he has zero ability to effectively fulfill. So here is why Tyrael, the ex-Archangel of Justice, is a complete idiot.
Forevermore, we shall stand together, angels and men, in the light of this glorious new dawn.
Led by the Angiras Council, their unity made them an indomitable force for light and righteousness. Tyrael, Archangel of Justice.
During the Eternal Conflict, Tyrael was said to have shown great martial prowess, nearly single-handedly felling Asmodon, the Lord of Sin, in combat. However, although later he would become instrumental in the fate of Sanctuary, unlike some of the angels and demons who became tired of the conflict, Tyrael seemed content at serving up cold, brutal justice for the burning hells en masse, a fact that Inarius, creator of Sanctuary and father of humanity, later ruminates on.
They call me a hero. I slew demons beyond count. I won battles and broke sieges, but it availed me nothing. I know that this war can have no victor, only an eternity of revenge, pride, and hatred. Tyrael does not understand. He cannot see beyond the glory of battle. In time he may, but that day is not yet here.
In one fateful battle when Imperius decides to end Diablo versus capture him, Tyrael remarks it was not justice and maybe started his lifelong obsession with trapping versus killing prime evils to disastrous effect.
This is not justice, brother. Nor does this decision lie with you alone. If you slay him, he will simply return in time. But if we imprison him, against his kind, there could only be blood for blood!
Sacrilege. Take heed and bear witness to the truths that lie herein, for they are the last legacy of the Horodrim. When the eternal conflict between the high heavens and the burning hells falls upon mortal soil, it is called the Sin War. Angels and demons walk amongst humanity, in disguise, fighting in secret, away from the prying eyes of mortals. Some daring, powerful mortals have even allied themselves with either side and helped to dictate the course of the Sin War.
After the creation of Sanctuary, the Sin War, and the prime evils running amok during their exile, Tyrael decided to get involved in the conflict with humanity. As such, the Horodrim was formed by the Archangel in the wake of the Dark Exile, their members taken from the various mage clans of the East. The mage Talrasha was appointed as their leader, and Tyrael entrusted a trio of soul stones to the order, each with the power to contain the essence of a prime evil. With the mage Zoltan Kuhl, later creator of the Black Soul Stone, who we will come back to, was entrusted with carrying the stones and using them to capture the demons. Although, inexplicably, the Soul Stones were attuned to each primeval, making it easier to track them, and look, on paper this is a huge win. Trapping the primeval sounds awesome, but unfortunately Tyrael's blunder was manifold. First, he trusted his lieutenant Iziel with the knowledge of the stones. What even Tyrael did not know was the Soul Stones were the centerpiece of a diabolical plan by the primevals in order to make way for the invasion of Sanctuary. The primevals were told by Iziel they could use the power of the Soul Stones to tap into the power of the Worldstone while they were in Sanctuary.
Tyrael was a fool to have trusted me. You see, it was I who told Diablo and his brothers about the Soul Stones and how to corrupt them. It was I who helped the Prime Evils mastermind their own exile to your world. The plan we set in motion so long ago cannot be stopped by any mortal agency. Hell itself is poised to spill forth into your world like a tidal wave of blood and nightmares. You and all your kind are doomed.
Forgive me, Tyrael. Forgive me.
Marius, give me the stone, and all is forgiven. Give it to me, Marius.
Take it. Take it, take it. I'm glad this is finally over, Tyrael. Look what the stone has done to me.
By the events of Diablo II, after the warrior had defeated Diablo and then shoved the stone into his own head, not only with a connection to the Worldstone but whomever they possessed, the warrior, now aka Diablo, heads to free his brother Baal/Talrasha, aided by a poor wretched soul called Marius. Of course, to his credit, Tyrael does intervene, but fails to stop Diablo from unleashing Baal. Although one angel versus two primevals, no matter how weakened, would be tough, he A, eventually gets himself imprisoned and bound to the Binding Stone, B, enlists the help of the, let's be honest, pathetic Marius to smash Talrasha's stone in hell.
Fool! You have just ensured the doom of this world. You cannot even begin to imagine what you've set in motion this day. Go to the Temple of Light in the eastern city of Karast. There you will find the gate to hell opened before you. You must find the courage to step through that gate, Marius. Take the stone you hold to the Hellforge, where it will be destroyed. Now run. Take the stone and run!
Marius, of course, being the broken opioid addict drifter that narrates Diablo 2, asking Marius to smash Baal's soulstone is like trying to force a toddler to build a house. They want to help, but are gonna tap out or go blind after 3 minutes of staring at a hammer. And that's what Marius did. He scuttled away, as anyone would do when they saw 3 primevals formed up in front of a portal to hell. Granted, Tyrael was in a pinch when he unceremoniously hoisted Marius off his feet and shanghaied him into service of the high heavens, but here's where it gets dumb. Now, I know that Tyrael was bound in Talrasha's tomb, right? But he was freed by the heroes of Diablo 2. So he has a window to maybe, I don't know, check up on the guy that holds the fate of all creation dangling round his neck. But how would he track him before Baal? Well, the Horodrim created a way to track down soulstones. It's how they captured the evils in the first place. As we know, Tyrael created the Horodrim. Ipso facto, he should have had access to a means of tracking that stone and get Marius before shit hits the proverbial fan. Did he just assume that Marius was fine instead of checking him? Like, should I check up on Marius? Forget the barbarian. Marius is the man to go to hell and smash that stone.
You haven't failed, old man. You've done exactly as you were meant to do. However, I am not the Archangel Tyrael.
Baal. No.
You have done well, Marius. Now I think you shall have your reward.
I don't deserve.
You shall not be allowed to reach Mount Ariat, and that which you seek will not be yours.
The importance of this, of course, was that Baal then just waltzed up, took the stone, and it ended with the Worldstone, the literal tide changer of the eternal conflict, being corrupted by the primevals and fulfilling their quest, with Tyrael forced to destroy it. Speaking of the destruction of the Worldstone's destruction also held grave implications for Sanctuary as a whole. Its dampening effect had prevented armies of demons and angels manifesting en masse. But with that protection gone, Sanctuary was open to invasion. It was a possibility that became manifest 20 years later as Asmodin, Lord of Sin, was able to summon his army into the mortal plane, leading them against Bastion's Keep. Yet, this of course was thwarted by the Nephilim, for without the Worldstone's dampening influence, humanity's inherent power was able to return, at least in a select few. But was that a good thing? We will get to that, but it also leads me back to Zoltun Kulle.
Become Nephilim and ushered in a golden age. But my Herodric brothers could not accept man's true destiny.
Tyrael's greatest blunder, it seems thus far, was trusting the wrong allies and the creation of the Soulstones, which were inevitably corrupted. And see Zoltun Kulle as he taught the Herodrim how to create Soulstones. Inevitably, one became power-hungry, Zoltun Kulle, who then created a black soulstone, born of the Worldstone, a gem so powerful it could capture the essences of all 7 evils, prime and greater alike, to basically recreate Tathamet, the great evil, that was powerful enough to overrun heaven itself, which it did, as seen in Diablo 4. Putting that in perspective, Tyrael literally is responsible for the catastrophe that befell heaven. But of course, we know the Nephilim stepped in and saved heaven and Sanctuary, but realistically, the Nephilim will probably kill everyone.
Take one last look at your shining heaven, Imperious. For soon, nothing of it shall remain but my laughter.
The Nephilim will stop you.
No one can stop death.
Every time there's a sign of a problem on Sanctuary, Tyrael relies on the Nephilim to solve it, going so far as to cast off his immortality as an angel, become mortal, and side with humanity. The Nephilim, whose powers had previously been dampened by the Worldstone, were now supercharged once more, which both angel and demon alike had feared on some level. Save one, Tyrael. Tyrael had stated he believed the Nephilim had a greater propensity for good or ill than angel and demon alike, which is baffling because the Nephilim have sided with the angels the past few times. Doesn't it mean that if they continue that way and they're 50% angel and 50% demon, one bad egg will side with the primevals and doom existence and Sanctuary itself? That's it. It's going to happen. It's just like a coin toss. It's just waiting for that one bad one to come through.
In that moment, with victory at hand, I saw the Nephilim in a new light. He is a hero who can defeat the champions of heaven and hell, and a barbarian who protects the innocent. But within him beats a mortal heart that will one day be tempted to corruption. On that day, will he have the strength to resist, or will he be our doom. My brethren, I will take my place among you once again. But this time, as a mortal. Since justice has been met this day, I will now stand as wisdom.
With Malthael defeated, the prime evils loosed on the world, and justice somewhat being served, Tyrael, a mortal who would now die, goes back to heaven between Diablo IV and Reaper of Souls and declares himself the aspect of wisdom. There are several reasons why this is baffling. 1. If you serve one thing well, justice, why move to wisdom? 2. Malthael, the former aspect of wisdom, had a realm of wisdom of sorts with a chalice that would give him knowledge. Tyrael literally says that his mortal mind cannot decipher its knowledge, and he becomes perplexed and confused. He cannot perform the function of the role, plus thanks to him saying thanks but no thanks to being an angel, he will die with his meaty mortal body. That's like being a good and fair judge and then saying after one particularly hard and long case that you did well on, you know what, I think I'm going to become the next Stephen Hawking, even if you don't have the capacity to understand quantum mechanics. The other angels, not in the most angelic form, mock and laugh at Tyrael because he inexplicably became human, can't understand his new job role, and is sticking out like a sore thumb in heaven. I know I covered Imperius as an imbecile for his ruling of the Angiras Council, but Tyrael really just keeps making mistake after mistake after mistake.
Brother.